It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. I'm feeling cool in my pink today. Welcome to the studio. Welcome to the show.
You look amazing.
This is my first ever pink. Okay, I think I have one pink, but this is like.
Are you sure? If you enter your wardrobe now, we'll see plenty pink.
It was still said about that pink that I just managed them. But this one, I went to go and buy it myself. So this is a feminine side.
Yeah. Feminine energy.
You look so
darling.
pretty in pink.
Thank you. Pink.
MD Mama.
Okay, Inter Bolton. How you doing?
MD Mama.
Like if you're not Mama, I'm just 43 years old. I'm the baby.
You are a mother.
I am a mother. Hey.
Almost 5.
Yeah, but Mama is grandma. Mama, I don't.
If you
Mama
started when our mother started, you'd have been grandma by now.
Yeah, you didn't start so early.
I went to Abeokuta over the weekend. I was the judge at an Adire festival.
Ah.
And
did you get some?
No, I didn't. I didn't have time. And then all the area on my way out, all the area boys disturbing. So, and I was rushing back to Lagos. But you know, what it was about is the Adire, our own Adire, local Adire, is being taken over by China. All these Chinese Adire, you know. So they're trying to say no to China made. So I'm going to make a conscious effort of not buying, you know,
Chinese version.
this Chinese version. I'll be buying
The local
which does
one.
the difference?
You can tell the difference.
There's a difference. I know.
Oh, I thought. Now that you mentioned it.
So what you do is educate us so that when I go to the market, I can tell which is
difference.
which.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, I think.
Even if it doesn't have to be from Abeokuta, it can be from Osogbo, anywhere.
I think the Chinese is a bit shiny, huh?
Yeah,
They do it in silk.
Like you just go to my market.
Yeah,
there's the silk one.
The
There's
silk ones,
one.
yeah.
Then there's the other one. I will bring one for you to see. It's more shiny.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one is.
Because I got one as a birthday present, and you know I've been looking, but this is not
the authentic one.
authentic. And I met the wife of the Ogun State governor. The guy puts in, I go market, go shopping.
She's very pretty.
Woman. Very beautiful woman.
How you doing, Mariam?
Go find wife.
Oh, I get finished all the banter. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Sorry, don't vex.
You can go ahead. Yeah.
Once in a while, so
let's enjoy the banter.
Banter the whole way.
Banter the whole show.
As if I won't be here. I've been coming every day.
I was going to tell you about your hair, but I think I love it on camera.
Thank you.
I thought it was actually, was it deliberate?
Yeah, that's the style.
Yeah, but you know, Mariah, I don't really take hair advice from you. I love my hair.
That's a low
And
blow.
thank you for last place. You did
Jesus, my chest.
That's Mariah does not understand people's hair
At all.
Like, what's this?
Why is it
All right, why is it looking like this? Why is it like? Doesn't get the fashion.
Oh my lord! I like it on camera. I was going to tell her that maybe are you sure this is all flying?
No, don't tell me anything about my hair.
No.
Obiajulu, 850K.
Hey, Waiki. Okay, actually, how you doing, Jerry? Don't mind Waiki.
You know, yeah, I didn't rest yesterday because I went straight to go and unpack my new goods. I have hairs. Thank you, darling. Affordable at 68,000 naira, bone straight. So I was doing a lot of videos yesterday, sorting products for customers who are the wig, 68,000 naira.
68,000.
Yes. So everybody buys at everybody buys at their level. There are different levels. The way people like you would drink only champagne, others would drink beer. You know. At that level, everybody gets their own. Everybody has their level, dog.
Everybody gets their own.
Buy at your level. I'm grateful for you know, this is our season really. So everybody's shopping. Either they're buying the clothes, they're buying the hair. Trying to slave for the season. Please let's not forget our family members. I like to do my charity from home. Charity begins at home. While we're doing all the giveaways on social media, make sure people are not hungry in your home. Please attend to them first.
Can say that loud.
Then you now extend to the public. Let people wait there inside chop belly food first before you are magnanimous to people outside.
Yeah, love it. Let's go on a quick break now. When we return, look at the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Fubara Wike strike deal. President pledges ease of doing newspaper business. Presidential CNG Initiatives Committee unable to account for palliatives cash. Perform or be fired, Tinubu tells NNPCL board. INEC fixes by-elections into Senate, House and others for February 15th. Catholic Church okays blessing for same-sex couples. And Benin, Niger, Togo owe Nigeria $11.16 million electricity bill. Which story are we starting with?
Why, King?
The same sex. Did you take this any other? The Catholic Church has said that they're going to they're going to bless same sex. You know,
Couples.
Last year or 2 years ago, the Pope had said no, it's a sin for the church that they can't it. But now he's slowly coming around.
Change his mind.
He's slowly coming around and saying, we will bless them because the church is for blessing.
So he's trying to separate between blessing the couple and
marrying,
marriage.
yeah.
So it's not marriage, but it's blessing.
But
then I'm waiting to hear.
It starts like do polygamy. We cannot legalize because that's the African way.
Everybody go.
Interesting conversation. If you're allowing same sex there, then allow polygamy here.
Yeah, do your style.
We must talk about it. Okay, let's another story.
So the Nigeria Electricity Regulation Commission (NEC) has said that 4 international electricity customers of NESI, that's the Nigerian Electricity Supply Industry, has failed to pay $11.16 million, and that's what they owe in the third quarter of 2023. And so Nigeria supplies electricity to the Republic of Benin, Niger Republic, and Togo. And these companies, they are companies that we sell to. They are called Paras SBEE, Transco SBEE, both in Benin, and they are Benin Republic owned. Nige LEC of Niger Republic, Odupani CEET of Togo, and they have failed to remit $2.42 million. In total, anyway, it comes to $11.60 million that they haven't remitted, and we can understand why this would be a factor in why we're struggling with, just sorting ourselves out, in electricity-wise in our country. That we have a lot of money just out there that's not being.
I didn't read the story, but I heard it on the news, and I'm wondering why, if I'm owing 100K, they will come and disconnect my lights. Why haven't they disconnected their lights?
Powers that be?
Because the reports include that they didn't disconnect. They could have disconnected.
No, they don't.
Did they say
they hardly disconnect?
Well, how do you know that? We don't know. We
have people that are there now.
I have family that is there now.
Yes, now they hardly disconnected
their lights.
It's for you easily disconnect when it's for people.
Like that. Okay, go ahead.
So the National Assembly yesterday found that the inability of the Presidential Steering Committee on the Compressed Natural Gas, the CNG, initiatives to account for the money allocated to it from the 500 billion meant for palliatives. So speaking on behalf of the Senate and House of Representatives Joint Committee on Petroleum Resources, Senator Agom Jarigbe was the one that alleged that the Presidential Committee was carrying out its activities in secret. He said, "We are aware that on October 1st, 2023, the President made a promise to Nigerians to address the challenges of the common man by introducing palliatives to ameliorate the suffering of Nigerians as a result of the removal of subsidy." And the President also committed to building training workshops, providing CNG conversion kits to advance natural gas revolution of the federal government. And they said they have observed with dismay the non-provision of those palliatives in the 2024 appropriation bill, which has been made available to the Joint Committee. They said the budget of the Ministry of Petroleum Resources is neither here or there. It doesn't represent the policy direction of Mr. President on the gas and usage of compressed natural gas. And, they have been hiding they've been doing their activities in secrecy. the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources as well as Oil and Gas are completely in the dark of what is happening, of all the activities of the Presidential Steering Committee. And so, they're asking the questions now. They need to really understand what's going on, especially with the palliatives that had been signed.
Okay, so NPAN, that's the Proprietors Association of Nigeria, the News Proprietors Association of Nigeria, visited the president yesterday, and where he assured them that of his commitment to continue to support their industry. He said they're going to be reviewing existing regulations hindering local access to newspaper and newsprint, the major raw material in newspaper production. Furthermore, he said that he appreciates their criticism. He said, we have held our feet to the fire and we will continue to respect your opinions, whether we agree with them or not. One thing I must say is that I read every newspaper. I hope he watches every talk show. and he sees all the various opinions by columnists. That he'll definitely, he's working with, trying to take water from a dry well. But definitely he has made some really bold decisions. And he promises very transparent government and accountability for...
Amen. Yeah. Amen.
Okay, the Punch. National Assembly may pass budget Saturday, 541 MDAs end defense. Pope Francis okays blessings for same-sex couples. Lagos government congratulates Punch on NMMA. Fubara Wike reached truce as Tinubu intervenes again. Tinubu to review policies affecting newspaper industry. Editors launch trust fund. Husband kills wife over food in Lagos. 800 billion naira illicit drugs seized. 42,105 offenders nabbed, says Marwa. And 2 killed as fire raises late Alawakala's residence. Okay.
So, a yet to be identified husband allegedly murdered his wife in Alimosho local government. They said that he came home and he wanted... we're not sure what food he wanted, but she gave him his favorite dish, which she gave him noodles. He got annoyed.
Imagine. That's the capital offense.
Yes, sir.
So how did he get
now hit her on the crown of her head and beat her
to a pulp,
and then left the house in annoyance. He now gets a call. The wife is at home convulsed, They rush to the house. She was there. They rushed her, but on the way, she died.
Oh, my Lord.
Was he drugged or drunk or
anger? Just anger.
Anger management, So,
very. He's been arrested?
They said he's been arrested, but they're not sure. The police, they say he has been arrested. It's because it was the deceased brother that went to report him.
Okay.
Yeah, really sad.
But they're going
about
to...
children?
They didn't say whether she had children or not.
Okay, any other story?
NDLEA, okay. The chairman of NDLEA, on Monday, they said he received the chief of defense staff, and while during the visitation, he gave some numbers and figures of, what they've been doing so far. He says that we have about... He says criminal elements rely on drugs to carry out criminalities, and that is why the NDLEA is ferocious in their offensive action against them, so that they can cut access and availability of these illicit drugs. He said that in 3 years, they have arrested 42,105 drug offenders, including 46 barons. They seized 7,500 tons of illicit drugs worth about 800 billion naira.
Whoa.
They said last year they seized over $300 million worth of illicit drugs, over 1,000 hectares of cannabis farms that were destroyed, so on and so forth. But one of the things I liked, because he was talking with the military head, he was saying one of the things that he would like for them to consider is building rehabilitation centers in military hospitals so that it can help military personnel who may have issues with substance abuse, and that will go a long way. He also thanked the military for their support in training and other logistics. So,
okay, let's go on a quick break now. We'll come back and continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
What's in again?
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. The one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay,
Thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
0.5 trillion on Saturday, and there are about 541 ministries, departments and agencies of the federal government would by then have concluded their defense. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriations, Senator Adiola Solomon, was the one who said the Senate will be resuming plenary on Wednesday, that's tomorrow. And according to him, his committee has opened their secretariat where all the subcommittees of the Senate will be submitting their reports. And, you know, he went ahead to express confidence that they will submit the report by Thursday, and the budget will be passed hopefully on Saturday. And they give us the data on, you know, the budget, 27.5 trillion. You know, there's a, that was submitted November 29, 2023, and they pegged the budget deficit for 2024 fiscal year at 9.18 trillion. Also explained the deficit represented by 3.88% of Nigeria's gross domestic product. So let me not go into all the details, you can get that. But they are appealing now that they want, you know, they've formally opened the secretariat to all chairmen of committees and their secretariat to start defending their budgets. They are going to be presenting it before the committee on appropriation. And they are calling on all committee chairmen that they have a deadline and everybody's working, you know, towards meeting that deadline. And so they must be ready to present their report at the time given, or else they would allocate whatever they want to allocate to the ministries that are not present according to their discretion. So they're asking all of them to come ready to present so that hopefully by Saturday, the budget will be passed.
So the rivers crisis, finally, we found that they came to a truce because there was a meeting yesterday. The governor of Rivers State, Mr. Fubara, his deputy, Mrs. Ngozi Odu, former governor of the state, Peter Odili, the former minister and the current minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, and others, the president, the vice president, were all at the meeting in the president's office where they had an agreement based on all the, I think it was an 8-point agreement at the meeting, one of which was the fact that all the impeachment proceedings must be halted, and that directive read that the impeachment proceedings initiated by the Rivers Assembly against Buhari should be dropped. All matters instituted in the courts should also be dropped. Leadership of the Rivers State Assembly, as led by the Honorable Martin Amewule, shall be recognized alongside the 27 members who resigned from the PDP, amongst so many others. But the point is that they've been able to come to a truce, and hopefully peace will be restored to Rivers State. Happy that the president could intervene.
I think that personally that governor got a raw end of the stick.
Okay, at least there's peace now, which is most important.
There's peace. Let's see, because now he's now governor in an APC-led House of Assembly. He is PDP. So unless he changes to APC,
or unless he's the Nigerian first, and regardless of what he personally believes.
Who is Nigerian first in Nigeria?
No, we don't have yet.
I am.
Get there.
Daily Sun. There are some of us that are here. Daily Sun.
Are we in politics?
Kebbi, Akwa Ibom, Katsina, top states with porous IGR. Tinubu promises to review policy affecting the silver industry. Peter Obi alleges threats to life for refusing to accept bribe. AFG to empower Chibok community with 210 million naira farming equipment. President to NNPCL board, he will be dissolved without prior notice or for non-performance. INEC may conduct 2023 rerun by-elections in February. And Rivers lawyers ask CJ to investigate order stopping INEC from conducting fresh elections. Okay, which story?
Peter Obi has raised alarm over threat to his life, and because he has refused what he says is a mind-blowing offer of bribe. He was talking at this X space organized by Parallel Facts. He said he is being threatened for refusing to accept the offer. He didn't reveal the identity of the people offering bribe or what the bribe was, but he maintained that he's ready to go through anything. He's even ready to die but he's not going to accept the offer.
What would they be bribing him
for?
I don't understand.
I'm not sure.
Wow.
But he hasn't really...
For him to be willing to lay down his life must be serious.
Yeah. Says if he dies at 60-something, he's not a young person.
Okay, let's move on to another story.
Chibok,
in an effort to revive the local economy, federal government is providing the Chibok community in Borno State with farming equipment and other accessories for skill development valued at 210 million naira actually. This comes after the community was forcibly relocated in 2014 as a result of the abduction of the girls from Chibok. The Minister of Women Affairs, Dr. Barrister Uju Kennedy, made this disclosure in an audience with the delegation from Chibok community led by the district head Amadu Usman, who visited her in Abuja.
Yeah, so 2 persons were injured in an early morning fire incident that occurred on Monday at the residence of the late former governor of Oyo State, Adebayo Alao Akala, in Ogbomoso. So according to the Director of Operations, Oyo State Fire Service, Mr. Ismail Adeleke, he was the one that confirmed the incident. And he said they got a distress call at about 8:30 a.m. from one Tolu Ikusegba. And, he said the cause of the fire could not be immediately ascertained, but the fire had been contained. However, 2 persons sustained injuries. One was serious. According to an eyewitness also, they said the fire incident was caused by a gas explosion, and that led to the death of 1 person. And by the time they had taken the other person to the hospital, after a while, the second person died. And that was exactly what happened. It's a very sad story. Very sad.
Okay, Vanguard, let's see how much time we have. Let's find a story of not taking banks. Borrowing from CBN rises 559% to 376.6 billion naira. Tinubu promises to uphold media freedom, respect divergent views. I just saw that Bible when I was there, so I'm sure he was seeing that I was talking about. Fake employment. Over 1,000 Nigerians stranded in UK, says IOM. Lagos tops IGR list with 651 billion naira. And NGE to launch fund for media sustainability professionalism. Okay, which story are we starting with?
The United Nations Migration Agency, International Organization for Migration, IOM, has advised potential migrants to be cautious of a syndicate who specializes in offering fake employment letters to Nigerians seeking jobs abroad. They say that there are no fewer than 1,000 Nigerians that are currently stranded in the UK, having gotten visas based on fake employment letters procured for them, only to get to their respective organizations in the UK, and then they were denied acceptance because the letters did not emanate from those organizations. Nigeria, like
wow.
what level of scam? You scam even those that have, I mean, poor people.
The worst part is that they sell everything, pay $10,000,
Yes.
$10,000
Yes, so
for the job, get there,
No job. Oh.
$10,000.
And then you leave people stranded.
no job. So they stand there. They were like, you know, you imagine you just get it, like it's not us, so we don't know who
for a
you are.
specific job. Nobody's going to employ you because you came for that specific job.
All right, let me take this call. Lagos State government has recorded 651 billion naira to top the list of internally generated revenue across the country. And according to this report, the state's IGR is higher than the combination of 30 states together. According to the annual States Viability Index ASVI report released by the Economic Confidential magazine in Abuja yesterday, it indicated that 36 states generated the sum of 1.8 trillion, where Lagos State alone had 651 billion of that. According to the report, it said that 6 states of the Federation would not survive without allocations from the purse, as their IGR in 2022 were below 10% of their receipts from the federal allocation in the year. Lagos retained its number one position in IGR amongst the states with a total revenue of 651 billion naira. Congratulations, Lagos. But you can also see there are other ports, they have other advantages aside from the regular taxes and all.
Yeah. So, you know, the All Nigerian Editors Conference held recently in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, and the Nigerian Guild of Editors have revealed plans to launch Nigerian Editors Trust Fund, which they say is designed to address the professional and welfare needs of media houses in Nigeria. At the ANEC in Uyo, publishers, media executives, and editors, you know, talked about how the guild can, you know, start initiating strategic move that would help the profession, not just the, you know, media houses and editors in print, also online. They're trying to see how that would work. And they're looking at having the trust fund launched in the first quarter of 2024. It would help to address economic challenges that the media executives and editors are faced with during and after office, and the fund will benefit the guild members in print, electronic, and online media. So that was all the detail that was given for this. So a lot of people were, you know, interested and applauding what is about to happen. That at the time that they get this trust fund, they'll be able to do a lot for the print, especially the print media, so it doesn't fade off from the scene. Yeah.
Okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we return, move on to our hot topic of today. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Gentlemen, first member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni, Yeni, Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger, today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I know I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
Eh?
I said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ fela. Ọmọ Anikulapo Kuti. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's my eldest son. It's not my eldest son.
Will it be more? Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Questions I want. Some may not even ask questions. I may just. I may even tell you I saw this.
What if it's in person? But then, would it make a difference where? So like, this person might just say, "You people can just be on 3rd Mainland Bridge on a bike," and the person say, "Babe, I cannot do it again," and you lose range. So, what would change? What would change the scenario? Like, does it matter where? Do you want to have like a fancy dinner, like the film you were mentioning?
No, like finding your
and then, or do you want to be on the street?
No, carry me go fancy dinner.
Or you might just una dey run for treadmill.
Or you na dey jog.
Don't tell you lose for your web.
Now I don't turn attempted murder.
So which would it be? Because I'm like, in person, you have the closure that you want and the few injuries.
Guys, that's one place. It could be inside the car. You can sit down inside the car.
Why car? Why not bike?
Who will be driving?
Why bike?
Who will be driving?
Thanks for staying with us. So men of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control have arrested 10 suspects over adulterated beverages as the agency shut down the cemetery market in Aba, Abia State. I'm going to play a clip so Nigerians can see the report of the bust.
This is the sealed Eziokwu market in Aba, Abia State. Here, officials of NAFDAC discovered and intercepted counterfeiters producing a variety of beverages, including wines, soft drinks, and consumables. Over 1,500 cartons of the fake and substandard products were destroyed during the operation, while 300 cartons were evacuated to NAFDAC warehouse. According to NAFDAC, the street value of the confiscated and destroyed fake products is estimated at over 750 million naira. 10 persons have been arrested on arrival at the scene of the crime.
The agency raided over 240 shops that have turned themselves into factories where these harmful products were being produced and marketed. The shops turned factories are very filthy, using water from very unhygienic sources, harmful chemicals, saccharin, coloring, dirty recycled bottles, and cloned packaging materials of other brands. The adulteration of alcoholic beverages by criminal elements in the country is done by mixing of cheaper sources of sugar and starch besides grape or fruit, among other harmful chemicals unsuitable for human consumption.
Methanol, a substance which can be used in fake vodka, is one of the major ingredients used in these adulterated products. The World Health Organization, in their Global Status Report on Alcohol and Health, estimated that more than 3 million people have died all over the world as a result of alcohol poisoning.
Drinking adulterated alcohol can cause nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, drowsiness, dizziness, blue tinged or pale skin, irregular or slow breathing, low body temperature, unconsciousness, and passing out.
This is perhaps the last time the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control NAFDAC will brief the media this year. The word of advice to members of the public is, during this Yuletide season, think about the 4 Ps before buying alcohol. Think about the place.
All right, so join us on the show to share more light, to shed more light on the counterfeiters involved in the product of several fake beverages, including wines, soft drinks, and other products, is Director of Investigation and Enforcement at the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, Mr. Francis Onowu. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much, madam.
Watching this was breaking my heart because I just kept thinking to myself, why are we doing this to ourselves? I mean, people always find ways around ways. You know, there's nowhere in the world where people always find loopholes, find where you can cheat the system just to make a few bucks. But this has the ability to engender the lives of thousands of millions, even to kill people. So tell us a bit about, I mean, we've seen a few clips, but just give us an idea of what NAFDAC has to deal with when you go for this kind of investigations. What's out there exactly?
It's quite unfortunate that Nigerians have to cope with taking such products that are manufactured by criminal elements. It's quite unfortunate that things that food that we eat and drinks that enter directly into the body system is being faked by criminal elements. Actually, this operation, which we had in Aba, the investigation actually started from the north, or the northern part of the country. Okay. We, in the course of our investigation enforcement activities, we stumbled, in the course of visiting some outlets, we stumbled on some drinks, which immediately we entered the shop. We suspected that it was fake. It actually had a fake NAFDAC registration number. Yes. So we removed it. Our officers in Kaduna removed it, then started investigating it. In the course of the investigation, it was traced to a supplier in Lagos. Then from Lagos, we were able to also track it to Aba. Then on getting to Aba, we started our investigation. At the end of the day, we found out that it emanated from Eziokwu Market in Aba. This Eziokwu Market is popularly called Cemetery Market. That was when we now tried to penetrate and actually see, using covert means, to see what was going on there. To our surprise, our surveillance team saw terrible things that were happening there. The whole section of the market had been converted into their shops in those markets, but those shops had been converted into manufacturing outfits where they produce both alcoholic, non-alcoholic, and all sorts of drinks. And all the sections of that area, that is what they do, faking. And you see the environment in which they are producing these products, very filthy, dirty, the kind of water they use, they are not clean water, of course. And we also found out, in the course of surveillance, because we put our men, once we start our surveillance, we put people on ground to study them over time. We were following them up, pretending to be part of them. So at the end of the day, when we had gathered enough intelligence, and also, we also found out that that place was a no-go area for most security agencies because of the criminal nature of the operation. So they take all necessary precautions to ensure that government agencies don't come there. And even when they try to penetrate there, they resist, even with arms, to ensure that they don't get into the market. Okay. It took the cooperation of other sister agencies. We normally, Investigation Enforcement Directorate of NAFDAC, we have policemen attached to us, mobile policemen. But we found out that the police could not do it alone because in the course of our investigation, we saw that there was no way we could use only the mobile policemen we have to carry out that operation. We had to seek the help of other sister agencies, like the military, the soldiers, army were there, also DSS and some other sister agencies. We had to co-opt them. And you'll be surprised that we had to work on a day that is taken to be a sit-at-home in the southeast on a Monday. So we busted the place, we cordoned off the place with all the security men we have on ground. Cordon off the place. Yeah. We were able to force our way into the marketplace, right. Even though there were some people within that were actually producing and carrying out all these nefarious.
So let's get a few more questions.
Yes, sir. I would like to, well done, NAFDAC, for what you're doing. I would like to understand the beginning and the end of each raid. So we know that sometimes when these raids happen, when you get into the building, you find the people who are doing the jobs, the workers. We do not hear the drug barons. We do not hear the kingpins, the owners of the businesses being arrested and the bankrollers being prosecuted. So I'm asking, after this raid now, and you pick up probably the people who you meet there handling the business, where does it lead to? What else should we expect in terms of prosecution of the original people behind this business, the real owners of the business?
You know, our investigation, we don't stop at a point. We always get to the final stage where we get the key people that were involved in the operation, I mean, in the nefarious activities. So definitely, we have a union, a market union, and we have people that paid for the shops, the owners of the shops. I'm just using that as an example.
Okay.
So they are owned by human beings. Yeah. And these human beings are the ones that are the main people who are carrying out this activity, even though they are making use of other lesser people who are their workmen. So there's no way, at the end of the day, we will get them. We've always been doing it and we've been getting them. We are very close to it. There are certain things I cannot disclose here. Yeah. We are close to getting most of them. So we get them arrested and we prosecute. We prosecute because for this kind of a criminal activity, we don't take it lying low. We take it, at the end of the day, we prosecute it. Because this is a very serious act. Because it is a very serious issue where people will fake. There is, aside from faking products, they are faking known brands of products.
Yes,
popular brands of products. They fake most of them. They clone the labels and put dangerous chemicals, dangerous chemicals in these drinks and sell to the public as original.
Maybe that's why so many people are getting kidney.
Let me go on a break. When we come back, we continue with this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
What's in again?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Benga Dainka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Benga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the question.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? I think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a trip, a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I don't
overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk now. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
That's
So still discussing with our guest. Namara, we had a question.
Yes, I do. So, first of all, of course, well done for this. This is definitely a big bust. But then, you know, it got me thinking that this has been going on for quite a while. How did you miss it? You know, that it took so long till we got here. And I'm saying this not to undermine what you've already done, but I'm thinking of the lives that have been endangered because they have gotten away with this for so long. All the I'm looking at these drinks. Usually Christmas hampers are filled with things like this. So imagine every Christmas or every time we send our children off to school with drinks like this, you know, how are they able to carry out these nefarious activities without us catching them sooner?
We cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone. We cannot be just like how we busted this one. It was just by picking something outside, even far from the source where the thing was happening.
It was a random check.
Yes. There are people who are living in that environment. There are people who are working there. There are marketers who knows that what these people are doing is wrong. But they just kept sealed-lipped. There's no way NAFDAC can be all the sports all over the federation. It's almost impossible. So that is why we need the cooperation of the general public, because we should know that what we are doing is not only for us. It's because if I don't take it, my family members, my extended family members will take this product. So we owe ourselves that responsibility to give out information to the relevant regulatory bodies to take care of any issues that has to do with.
Many of us have families who are into Yahoo, but we keep quiet. We have just quiet. We're all complicit, all of us.
We're all complicit. So we need to share information so that we can work on these things and clear these things out of the system.
Yeah, I was just going to, you know, before I say what, the place is called Cemetery Market, so that is a very apt name for that market. But I was going to ask, because I see many popular drinks, drinks that we buy on a regular.
National,
You know, now it's Christmas, people are having Christmas parties. How are we going to differentiate between the fake and the original?
Very good question.
The fake and original is, to be candid, at times it's difficult. It's difficult because these fakers have become so sophisticated that they have that technology, the printing technology, that at times the fake one even looks more original than the main product. Yes, it is true. But there are simple ways we can identify some of these things, because a criminal will always leave some track where it could be traced. For example, there are different issues. If you have a product, for example, if you're wary of where you are buying that product from. If I want to buy a product, I should know some reputable places that you are sure, at least 90% sure that you get the genuine product. So, but when you get to a place and you see the place and you look at it, even by the setting of that place, you start thinking that maybe it's possible that these people will not be selling the right product. You also look at the price, because we cannot say because of the economic situation, we go for the cheaper ones. Of course, the fake one will be cheaper. There is no way they will sell at the same price with the original as the original product. So we look at the price too. Once the price is different or cheaper or is lower than the original one, of course, you should start suspecting that most probably that product is fake. Then also you look at the product. Well, before you buy a product, you have to look at what you are buying, the label. I can assure you, if you look at any product, that no matter how this thing is, you will find some mistakes.
So let me ask, let me kind of extend to Obiajulu's question, because what I'm seeing here are cartons. This is money, bottles, this is investment. The owners of these shops cannot just be one regular guy who just has a match. These are dons, people who are well funded. These are maybe even organizations who are saying these are side hustles, because everything here doesn't look like, they're not cheap. These bottles are imported.
Not 1 million business.
So do you have, even if you don't want to give us all the information, do you know, have you identified some of these kingpins or the people who are really bankrolling? Because the owners of the shops, I doubt, are the owners of are the ones actually.
They may be people fronting for the real owners.
So does NAFDAC have an inclination into who are the big shots behind these things?
From the investigation and the ones we did in the past, we were able to get to the kingpins.
Yeah.
We were able to get to them. This is not the first time.
Okay.
We've been on this job for quite some time. So we've actually, some people are being prosecuted as we speak now, that are still, so we will get to them.
So
there's no way.
Yeah, talk about this prosecution, like someone who's been caught doing this, the kingpin, the worker, what sort of sentencing do they get? Because recently, the reason I'm asking, just to give you context, I read NAFDAC had sentenced some kingpins, and I'm hearing 3 weeks, 4 weeks community service, drug barons. So I'm wondering what sort of prosecution, you get in cases like this.
Maybe commensurate to the crime? This is a crime against millions.
It is not. It is not. And that is always an issue. The issue of the fact that the laws or this thing is not deterrent enough. It is not.
That's how your work.
And but we are working on it. Actually, there is a bill in the National Assembly that we're talking of trying to review some of these laws, because these are laws that have been here with us for quite some time. They need to be reviewed, and that is what we are working at. Because for you to have a kingpin who has been convicted and he's asked to pay 500,000 naira, he can just walk to the ATM machine and withdraw and pay there
and continue his business.
Well, but the good thing about it, anyway, is not even with what we have, because we've had cases of conviction of some of these people. The process, the legal process in Nigeria is not an easy one, because the process is so tasking, especially for those criminal elements. And I would tell you that at a point, there was a case when I was in Ebonyi State. So before the case ended, some of the people passed on. They died as the case, because the case took a long time. They were dying one by one until somebody, at the end of the day, the case was struck off, because all of them were almost dead before the case finished. So, and it's a lot of, it's also deterrent to an extent, because the process itself is so tedious and rigorous that at the end of the day, and also we know that once somebody is convicted, it has entered back
the DG tried to mention a few of the causes of drinking of these, the effects of drinking some of these adulterated drinks. But sometimes Nigerians will say, I can't afford the expensive one. This one at least is okay. Maybe it's cheaper. Maybe if we give you a few minutes to tell us again, reiterate all the dangers, the harmful products we're drinking, what it can cause. Because like I was saying earlier, that many people, we had like an upsurge in kidney issues recently, and we're just wondering how come everybody just having kidney problems. It could have been from some of these drinks, so we don't know. And there's so many other factors that could have led to it.
No, it's a fact. It's true. It's true. It could be from the drinks. Because from a research that was even conducted, it was proven that 4.7% of all cancer cases was emanated from taking alcoholic drinks, bad alcohol. Bad alcohol. 4.7% of some of these cancer cases emanated from that. So you can be sure that aside from the alcohol, because you have ethanol, you have methanol. Methanol is cheaper. I know that methanol is not supposed to be, it's not food, it's not to be ingested. It has a lot of methanol, if consumed, will lead to permanent blindness.
Yes.
Continue drinking of methanol will lead to permanent blindness.
Lots of people are blind.
Yes. Then do you know that aside from the alcohol that is being used in production, there are so many other chemicals that are mixed with these things. And these chemicals, some of them are not food-grade chemicals. They are chemicals, some of them are for dyeing of clothes. They are for so many other, for industrial use, not for food use.
Not
yes, not for the ingested. So some of these chemicals are mixed with these things, and people consume this. And of course, you can be sure that in consuming some of these chemicals, the result, of course, will be damage of the internal organs of the body. That's where you now have, just like somebody pointed out here, upsurge in kidney and liver damages, diseases. So it's sort of this drinking some of these things also could cause all these things.
I think we should just be drinking Zobo. Going for
just make it in your
make
house.
it in your house and just drink.
I wanted to ask, would you recommend the death sentence for these people?
Well, the world is moving away from,
like mass murder.
from death sentence. I think what we should be talking about is life imprisonment. What we should be talking about is...
They'll give their lives to Christ in the prison and
if they give their life to Christ, does not mean the sin will be forgiven. Whatever a man sow, he must reap. Since your sins will not be forgiven when you have sown what you reap. That is the only time sins will be forgiven. But for you to think that you wake up one morning after killing so many people by producing bad drinks for them, killing so many, wiping out breadwinners of families and rendering children fatherless. Then you now wake up one morning and say you are a pastor. You turn to pastor and you are giving your life to Christ.
We don't have space in the prison,
I even wonder if there's a department that looks into the psychology of people that do this thing. What are they thinking? Who are they? Like, what has informed them, knowing that they are putting together poisons and selling to their fellow human beings? We sit down and talk about that at all.
These are people who have killed their conscience. They don't have conscience. Their conscience is dead. So these are people who can use their children, their wife, for ritual murder. So for ritual, yes.
Exactly.
For ritual, whatever, to get money. So what does it matter if they have to produce some of these drinks for people? They have killed their conscience. So such people should not be in the society. They have to be removed from society. That is why people have to cooperate and give informations. Because if you think that it does not concern you, it's a pity. By the time it will start, your family member will be involved, and you find out that you too, you'll be the one that will be spending money to take the person to the hospital. Then that is when you now know what you have caused by not reporting such cases.
They have to give the information discreetly so that they don't get into trouble. These people have the capacity to come after you.
Yes.
And that's why a lot of Nigerians are afraid to just stick out their necks. They will just see it and mind their business. But I wanted to ask, is there any way we can verify the NAFDAC number if we see in products? Does it work like a barcode where we can scan and it takes us straight to the website to confirm? I think that's one of the ways that we can, separate, because once you see NAFDAC, you are moving. Yeah. You can't even identify if it's fake or real.
For now, there's a green book that has just been launched. It's a green book, NAFDAC green book, where all the products that are registered by NAFDAC, you can check. Okay. Once you type green book on Google, you open it. For now, we have that for drugs. Okay. But very soon, other ones are coming up for food and other products that we regulate. Okay. They are coming up online. So, but for now, for drugs, once you type green book, you get all the products that NAFDAC has registered, even current ones. So, but very soon, very, very, very soon. Other
that will make it easier. Yes, even in the store, you just snap and...
Green book, NAFDAC green book.
What I'm seeing is a film.
NAFDAC green book.
NAFDAC green.
Right, I trust working. But so, one thing I think that is even probably worse than life imprisonment is naming and shaming, or maybe commensurate, because when we bring out the faces that this is the person,
yes,
Mr. whatever is the one that is doing this, and put it out there where his family, loved ones, community, so he's the one. I think that might even go further than just throwing them in prison and nobody knows what
them. Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, but this is also a country where we hear people say, no work now. They did not mean to do it. They are not, we also have a group of Nigerians who sometimes feel that criminality is excused because there's poverty in the land, That's why the law has to come in.
Just Google the NAFDAC number to come out.
Yes, either NAFDAC number or the products, or if you have the product, you just type the product.
Yeah,
if you want to use the product, or you can use NAFDAC number also.
Even animal feed things.
Once you type it, it will bring out all the products are registered. If it's not there, that means it's not there.
Wow. Okay, let me take this call. Mr. Wale, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. What I'm saying is that there is a code on some drugs that you can scan and get maybe the register under the NAFDAC. Then, in this case, I discovered that most of the most of the, like, let's use one example, or maybe one beverage bottle. All of us in Nigeria, we believe that whenever we drink the beverage, we throw it out. There are some people that are after the bottle, which is already have numbers of NAFDAC for me.
Oh, okay.
So you understand that? And if all these perpetrators have the things and the cartons of those things, you know that it's carrying the NAFDAC number. How can we settle those things?
Okay, thank you very much. Did you get the question?
Yes, so he was saying...
We're talking about recycled bottles.
Yes. That some of them already have
the NAFDAC numbers.
Yeah, the recycle. As a matter of fact, the operation we carried out in a cemetery market, most of the bottles they use here were recycled bottles. So that is why all these, they pick bottles and sort them. But of course, you'll be sure that these bottles will not be properly washed. They are not properly washed, and they are even washed with dirty water. So they are recycled bottles. They pick bottles after using, but the only difference is that, of course, you cannot have the labels. You cannot, most times you will not have the original labels on it. They will have to print their own labels, clone the labels, and
so the NAFDAC number on the bottle will be different from the NAFDAC number on the...
No, the NAFDAC number is on the label. So they will have already printed the NAFDAC number on the label, which they affix on the...
So I was even saying the water is even the least of the problem, the dirty water, compared to all the other chemicals that you're putting in. But I was wondering if, you know, the original manufacturers, the authentic manufacturers can work with NAFDAC in such a way that, you know, you have maybe stickers or some sort of barcode to show that, okay, when it goes from manufacturers, these are our authenticated retailers. So Nigerians can know where to go for original products. And then if you find those products somewhere else with the barcode and, you know, and you see, if you don't find that product in that market, then you know that this is not your original. Have you had those sort of conversations?
I'll let you answer that question after this break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Here's the thing. Why?
You open that your stupid mouth.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi.
Good morning, Mariah.
Good morning, sir.
And the rest of the field. Auntie Annie, good morning.
Good morning.
This morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Francis, this is sorrowful, like seriously. But what I want to say is, have you tried to hold the market leader responsible because they're supposed to be accountable for everything that is going on within the market? Thank you.
Fantastic question. That's also related to her.
Thank you very much. That was a good question. Actually, what you said is what we always take into cognizance wherever in all the markets where they sell things we regulate. Like this particular case now, this cemetery market case is still sealed, and NAFDAC is already trying to sign an MOU with the market executive. The MOU on how to go about the relationship between us and them and the things we regulate. So that MOU is coming into force. And also, most of the markets, all the places we go to, you look of trade fair, you talk of Idumota, you talk of Kano, Kaduna, or wherever, we have all these big markets. The market, whenever we go there, they know that we are there. And most times, they are even the ones that take us to some of these people that are doing the wrong things. Okay. So they take us to some of them. I can tell you for free that most of the markets also have task forces. They have task forces that go about spotting people who are selling or doing the wrong things in the market and report to us. We are not saying that we are getting 100% support from them, no. But at least there is a level of cooperation and information sharing between us. So going to the other question, okay, yes, there's one. Somebody talked about barcode.
Barcode, yeah.
Barcode, yes, it's true. Some companies have designed their barcode and QR code in such a way that if you have the software application on your phone, you can scan. Once you scan, you can get details of the product, and you know immediately whether it's genuine or it's not genuine. So it's also good for us to scan some of these barcodes. You will get information most times immediately whether they are genuine or not, so you know whether to purchase or not to purchase them. So that's a very good one. Then for the issue of knowing about the source, the market from the barcode, that would be a bit difficult because the kind of distribution chain we have in Nigeria is so haphazard. It's not easy to. They don't have a chain of distribution whereby you can say your product. If you distribute your product, it should be found here, maybe in some of those places. Is almost impossible for that. But we are getting there, especially for drugs. Especially for drugs, because there's what NAFDAC has now in place, issue of traceability. There's this traceability whereby we can trace vaccines, especially for COVID-19 vaccine. We can trace it from any point to the final user. So at any point in time, we can check and know where a particular batch of that product is. And we are moving on to other drugs too. And eventually it comes to food.
Let me take this call. It's been holding for a while. Oluwaseun, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning,
sir.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Hope you are doing. Then I greet the NAFDAC man. Thank you. Good job you are doing.
Thank you.
I want to know the producers, how are they working with you in respect to investment? So that because it's about them too. One, their customers is being killed. Two, their product is being imitated. How can they work with you guys in order to deal with these killers?
Yeah.
You know, the producers, I mean the manufacturers now.
Yes.
What are they doing? What are they doing for you so that they can empower you more. Because, it's about business. Because they are going to run out of business if they don't work with you. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the Maran's
Yeah. Thank you very much. For the manufacturer, you are right. It's their product. And if anything goes wrong with their product, they are the ones that owns the product. They will be held responsible. That's good. And that is how it is. NAFDAC is trying to ensure, because we want to make sure that each of these manufacturers now strengthen their post-marketing surveillance. NAFDAC is very soon will insist, or is almost insisting now, that each of these manufacturers must have a post-marketing PMS, post-marketing study department within their establishment, whereby it's not only having a product approved and registered, they also have to follow up with the products in the market to know whether these products are being faked or not being faked. And that's what we also tell them that they have marketers in the market. They have people who are distributing their products, and they know when the fake version of their products are in the market. So the distributors are also not helping matters, because you'll be surprised that some of these distributors too are also working with these fakers because they benefit from it. They benefit from this because there has been some investigations we carried out in the past that we found out that even the distributors were selling both the original product and the fake products along with selling together. So those things are possible. So we always tell the manufacturers that they have to look in-house and look at the kind of people they employ who distribute their products, and also follow up with what they are doing. Because
you have to wrap up.
Yes, because they know.
But it's not all of. Some of the drinks are not manufactured here; they are imported, like the brandies and all this. They are not.
They have even if they are imported, they have marketing authorization holders. Products, somebody registered it here. Even the company, when they come down, they cannot be. Somebody will receive it from when they import it. They have a company. They have another establishment that is distributing this product.
Like
they have distributors. Yeah.
We have to wrap up.
Yeah. So how do citizens report these sort of issues? Who do they go to? Who do they call when they notice this kind of things happening around them?
And the citizens, as we said before, it will be very nice for us to help ourselves, because in doing these things, we are doing ourselves good by reporting these cases. And NAFDAC offices, we have NAFDAC offices, physical offices in all the 36 states of the Federation, including the FCT. Aside from that, you can report online. We have what we call reforms unit. If you go to NAFDAC website, you have many sources where you can report incidences or report whatever, give information about what is happening. And you can be assured that your privacy or your identity will not be disclosed. Because people send so many things to us anonymously, we don't disclose. So you can be assured that whatever information you give to us will be kept secret. It will not be disclosed.
So we have to wrap up right now. Thank you so much, Mr. Francis Ono-Niwu, and he is the Director of Investigation and Enforcement at the NAFDAC. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sharing with us. Let's go on a short break now. We'll come back and bring in our next guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and welcome to the part of the show where I really have a lot of fun. Why? I'm highly competitive. I'm not going to ask you regular questions. With me, I'm not well. So you're going to be as nuts as I am today, yes?
Ready.
Alrighty. Sorry. Can you put it down here, please? King Dion versus Tony. Oh, thank you. See all the Lee Kuku things you do. They make me. Oh no. Who said this?
I'm not going to every day. Closer. Girl, I want to make you closer.
Okay.
Upslayed in closer.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much fun have you had on the show?
11, 10.
11?
10, yes.
11? Now we're going to terminate the show. Please, my producer, this is where we're cutting it. Cameraman, Cut it. Cut it. You don't cut. Okay, I'm just kidding.
The hottest music videos.
Check it out. Let's go.
Topping the charts. Right here on the Max World Chart Show.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Questions if I want. I may not even ask questions. I may just. I may even tell you I saw this.
What if it's in person? But then, would it make a difference where? So like, this person might just say, "You people can just be on 3rd Milan Bridge on a bike," and the person say, "Babe, I cannot do it again," and you lose range. So, what would change? What would change the scenario? For, like,
Thanks for staying with us. Joining us on the show is a friend of the house, a business coach, and a clergyman, Pastor Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. He'll be discussing the urgent need for people to be financially prudent at this time to eliminate wastages and impulsive spending and purchase this time of this Yuletide season. Please join us as we welcome Dr. Olumide Emmanuel in the building. It's always good to have you towards the end of the year as we're winding down to review what we've done so far, January to date, and start thinking ahead of next year. So, as many people are spending, I mean, everybody hampering, everybody,
how much is money? Please, before you continue, please tell us how you healed Mariah when you.
Don't mind writing. Don't mind writing.
I'm only following in your footsteps now. Mama.
I mean,
so,
as I was saying,
you cannot reject the honor that has been bestowed upon you.
Chest it.
Like she said, chest it and own it.
Own it.
Well, finances, money matter is very important in the life of every individual because we all need money to be able to function. And like I've said, we've had a series of discussions over and over again. So there's no way we will keep going back to what we have discussed. But the first thing we need to understand is that principles are universal. But the application of those principles are personal, contextual, and geographical. So wherever you are in the world, what people do to be rich, what people do to manage their resources is the same. But it's just that when you now want to practice those principles, you now look at your own personal context, you look at your geography, and then you look at your own context, and so it's contextual, geographical, and personal. Because, for instance, there are people that listen to us right now. They are living under the bridge. Many of the things that you are struggling about, hey, why can't I buy? They don't even have that reality because they have to survive on a day-to-day basis. But the same principles that person will apply is the same principle that someone that is a multi-billionaire will apply. But they will just apply it with reference to their personality, their context, and their geography. Anywhere in the world, people are going through all kinds of stuff right now. There are people, as a result of the energy crisis based on Ukraine-Russia war, as a result of the economic situation all over the world, anywhere in the world, whether it's the UK, whether it's Canada, people are going through a lot of stuff. There's inflation everywhere. There's interest rate has increased. So everybody's going through it. So you just need to have that clear understanding that, look, these are the principles that I need to apply. Second thing we need to understand is that for many of us, there are two dimensions that many of us are used to, but there's a third dimension that is a real problem. We know what it means to be uneducated. So when someone is uneducated, we say, oh, he's an uneducated person. We know what it means to be educated. But there's a third dimension, which is called the miseducation. And that's the real problem with many of us. Many of us have been miseducated. So you go to school and you are made to believe that what you are being taught is what will help you to survive. But by the time you graduate, over 80% of what you are taught in school is useless. And most of the things that you are taught, you cannot use it in the practical world. So you have been miseducated because you have been given the belief that you have all it takes, whereas you don't have all it takes. That's why you spend an average of 20 years of your life in the academic sector, and when you come out, the first thing you do is to beg to apply. Because you have spent 20 years to be trained to become a beggar. So once we understand those basic concepts, then we now come into how do you as an individual survive regardless of the economic climate. Is to understand those principles, break it down into action steps.
Let me redirect you a bit, because one of the reasons we wanted you to help us, this is a spending season. Everybody, but some of us, we don't have enough.
Find that. Those are parts of miseducation.
Okay, miseducation.
Those are part of the. Where do you get the idea that you must buy Christmas?
Where is good giving?
So you see, if we look at it from different angles, it's still miseducation. Number one, Jesus was not born in December.
Yeah.
So if you look at it from religion, even the Jesus people say you are celebrating, he wasn't born in December.
It's not his birthday.
It's not his birthday. So you are just
those of us who are having.
It's not spoil the season for us.
Christmas family, Christmas gathering.
Now,
because this year is my turn and I can't escape it.
No, you have
to. So question. This year is your turn. Were you aware last week or last month? You were aware before now.
Yes.
So you should have planned towards it. Those are the principles.
Okay.
Planning.
No, but we had wedding.
No. You see, listen. You see, every day of your life, you have what we call fixed costs. You have what we call recurrent costs. Fixed expenditure, if you are renting, you have your rent. If you have a house, you don't have to pay bills. You know there is diesel, you know there is cable, you know there is phone, you know there is fuel in your car. Those are fixed things that you should know. Then there are recurrent things that come. That is where the principles of planning and the principle of savings comes in. There is no way you want to go around it. Nobody told you that end of the year is spending season. You will receive that belief and you capture it. There are people that end of the year is not a spending season to them. Every month is a spending because they have planned their life to say, okay, you are saying that I am the firstborn of my family. Every December, by tomorrow now, there will be about 30 people in my house for the next 2 weeks.
Wow.
Every year, I'm the firstborn of the family. So every year, everybody, even if you have to sleep in the kitchen, that's the culture of our family. Yeah. So once in a year, my parents, my siblings, everybody, all their children of everywhere. But because it is once a year, it is planned. It's something we've been doing for like 20-something years. So you plan it and you grow, you plan it and you grow. So you can't just wake up one day and tell me it's December. December is not a shock. It is lack of planning that is making you forget.
It's not a shock, but it is something that you cannot avoid. It's something that
you plan for it.
You must celebrate because it's your turn or whatever.
Just plan for it and get it done.
But what happens in the course of the year? You've made these plans and then something happens and you are unable to do it.
Like diesel becomes...
diesel becomes expensive. There was a health situation during the year, and you had to dip into your savings.
So we go back again to principles.
So what would
you see, when you plan, you are not God. That's why it's called a plan. That's why it's called a budget. It's not set in concrete. And that is why there's adjustment. The last time I came, I said, there are only two things you can do. Reduce your expenditure or increase your income. So when you have a plan and diesel has shifted, I'm a businessman. We spend money. And because we have to spend like 7 million in one of the organizations for diesel, in a month we are doing like 20-something million on diesel. Wow. Because of that, right now in one of the organizations, we only go to work 3 times a week. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We don't go to work on Monday and Friday anymore. You have to cut down. Then we say, okay, how do we do remote work? Some organizations are closing now by 4 instead of closing by 6. You have to cut the cost. So once life happens, you make adjustment. That's why it's a principle. You just make adjustment because it will not be like that forever. And like I told you guys, I said the government seem to be making a lot of good decisions, but there's a gestation period for every policy. It's going to be between 6 months to 2 years for many of the things that will happen to change. If you are conversant with economic matters, you realize that some of these things they are doing is bringing more income. The country is beginning to make more money. But the problem is still at the expenditure dimension because we are making more money now, but we have so many debt that we need to take care of, and then the politicians are still wasting money as if there's money. So those are the problem. But if you look at the indices, the stock market is rising. Foreign investors are coming. Things are beginning to change based on those policies. But it will take time for it to trickle down to where the man on the street can see the results.
Jumping in. So I like the first analogy you gave when you talked about contextual and personal and geographical. Right. And I know that all hands are not equal. People would plan and live according to where their pocket is. Now, the problem is when you are looking at another person's spending in this season and wanting to spend like that when you don't know where the person is coming from. And we have a lot of people, because of the impact of social media, we see people launch cars, launch houses, buy wigs.
Fake life.
No, fake. Those ones are real, based on their income and where they are, their geography, personal and contextual. They can afford it. I'm talking about the real ones now. We have the fake ones. I'm talking about the real. They can afford it. But then you're sitting somewhere and you know you're not there. But you want to do whatever it takes to just have that life. And then you dip hands into things you're not supposed to dip hands into. And after the Agbabola season, by January, your eye clears, and then you start borrowing and begging. So how do we help people avoid falling into the trap? Because one person is doing this does not mean I should do it if you're not in that space to do it.
Okay, there's a principle we call the copycat principle. The copycat principle states that when someone pioneers something or does something, other people that look at them will want to be like them. Within 6 months, people will begin to copy what they have done, even if they don't have what it takes to sustain what they are copying. There's also a principle called the 20-40-60 principles. The 20-40-60 principle states that when you are in your 20s and in your 30s, you are so concerned about what people think, what people feel, what will people say. So most of your decisions are based not generally on your thinking, on your analysis, but on your feelings, your emotion, and the opinions of other people. By the time you get to your 40s and your 50s, you have matured enough. You're like, I don't care what anybody's saying, and let me live my life. But by the time you now get to your 60s, you realize that nobody was even saying anything. You were the one putting yourself under unnecessary pressure. How many times have you bought shoes thinking that you will show them and nobody commented? You have to draw their attention. You know, say, you did so much, say, you buy shoe. They didn't even know. How many times have you bought air? You thought the air was something, but they didn't even know the difference between this one and the last one. you leave home. You leave a man at home. You say, oh, honey, I'm going to the salon to do my hair. The man may even be the one to give you the money if you don't have the money. You go. 3 hours later, you return. The man did not even acknowledge that you went to do it. Why? Because people are, many times, we think we are breaking news. You are not a breaking news. Everybody is busy thinking about their life. You think they are thinking about, I can't wear this one. This is what I wore last week. Who did this to us? Nobody is. So one thing is have strong self-esteem. Let your values be on the right foundation. That look, I am valuable. I am not what I drive. I am what drives me. I am not what I wear. No, so I'm not where I live. I'm what lives in me. So once you have vision, you have values, you know that all those things, the best way I would say is, if you are not pregnant, you are waiting for a child. Somebody else is pregnant, but the pregnancy has not yet shown. Somebody else is pregnant, the pregnancy is visible. Somebody else has given birth, is nursing a child. A pregnant woman should never envy a nursing mother because you are already in the process. It's a matter of time. The one that has pregnancy that is not showing should never envy the one whose pregnancy is showing because you're already pregnant. It's only a matter of time. The one that is not pregnant yet should know in the journey of my life there is a pregnancy and a child in the future. Once you have that understanding, I may not have money right now. They have not stopped manufacturing cars. They have not stopped manufacturing houses. All the things everybody is using right now is old model.
So
if somebody comes here with Volkswagen of those days that they used to buy, you will say what kind of cars. But those are the raining cars. They command in those days. So many of the things today now, many of the Range Rover before is the towing vehicle of today. So many of the things you are running after is because of your myopic way of seeing things.
I love it.
It's because of low self-esteem, identity crisis. When you understand that your future is secure, just stay focused. You will get there.
So if I love it. You know what I love?
Amazing.
Everything you're seeing today is old model.
Yeah.
You don't have yours.
Yeah.
Relax. All this fine house, because I remember back in the day, there's some houses that are so beautiful.
But today now,
come on, I can live in that house because it's very old model.
Yeah.
I was one of the things I also wanted you to help us address. You see, okay, I understand the issues of principles, your context and all that, but it's Christmas season.
Exactly.
I want to give. And there are lots of people that expect me to give. Because either they're the people who are workers, people around me, I always do, but this year is very difficult to give. I know somebody was telling me that every year, for the past few years, she's been giving maybe 25 kg rice. This year, she can't afford it because the numbers are crazy. So, but she's now thinking, what can I do? So, as a coach, I'm a business owner. I want to give out things, but I don't know what to do. I feel overwhelmed on this give because nobody has. And even me, people expect me to give. How do I do it and still want to manage myself?
Can I just add something? Because it's all part of it.
Yeah.
So in this case, it's a giving. Let's say you're also a charity organization, and organizations or bodies depend on you to make donations at a certain time, especially this season, and you're unable to. What do you do as well?
Okay, so let me start with that because that's easier than we'll go to. So for an anything that is organizational, that's you're a company, there's what we call system and structures. And system and structure is save yourself, SYSTEM, save yourself time, energy, and money. And then there's planning. So as an organization, I already know these are the things I need. So don't wait until now to be telling them you don't have money. At the beginning of the year, let everybody know, these are things we're going to do. We have a plan for 2023, and from our projection, it will not be possible to do this and this and this. So this. We cut this, and let everybody know, and that's it. Life happens. Everybody understands, and you move on. So that's just easy because you are talking organization. Let's come to personal. That's where a lot of emotions come in. Yeah. Now you are a corporate organization. If you are truly an entrepreneur, then you will know that you don't plan for the future in the future. You don't manufacture your weapons of war on the battlefield. So if I already know at the beginning of the year that I'm going to be giving out X in December, there is an account for that. You need to open an account because, see, in money management, you have to make money. You know, we've dealt with that. How not to make money, how to make money. Then you have to manage money before you can multiply. So what you're talking about comes into financial management. The only way you manage money is budgeting and financial planning. So you have to sit down and have a budget. Every money that comes into your life, 10% of the money does not belong to you. It goes into the universe. It goes into the world. Christians call it tithing. Muslims call it sadaqat. They call it charity. 10% because if everything you get, you eat, you are a Dead Sea. Living is given. It's not about religion. That's the way life is structured. The oxygen that the plants release is what you breathe in. The carbon dioxide you breathe out is what they breathe in. So you say that's the way life is structured. It's not about religion. It's about creation. And the way creation so 10% is not so on. 10 to 20% of every money you make must be saved. It's savings. So that means 30% of all your income does not belong to you. 30% of every money you make is what you use for salaries and emoluments. Any organization, any family that spends more than 30% of their income on salaries and emolument, you have entered into maintenance mode. And then 40% is what you use as running cost. So if you are an organization that understands financial management, it therefore means that a portion of your money is already saved to take care of that. So if by virtue of inflation, maybe in January, it's okay, in December, we're going to do this, a copy of this will be 10,000 per person, I will give you 1,000. And then by the time you get to December, a copy that is supposed to be 10,000 is now 35,000. You can't give that anymore. You don't have to innovate as, okay, so what can the 10,000 do? You now come, so if you can't do 25 kg, can you do 5 kg? If you cannot do 5 kg, can you do something else? You have been doing rice, can you do tuber of yam? You have been doing rice, can you now do other grains? You have been doing rice, can you now come up with a product, something that they can? So you just be creative and then make sure you stay within that, and that's the way it goes. Because most of the time it's just emotion. And most of the time you know that the people that really need it, we don't attend to them. Most of the people who are trying to impress, they don't even need it. You give them the hamper, they are already sharing it. Some of it doesn't even get from the car. Oh, you carry this one. So the people that we need to go and help that are on the streets, we are not helping them because we think we are givers, but we are strategics. You are using the gift to buy favor. You are using the gift to maintain relation for them. So you are not really a giver, you are just a user. And you are just using that as a, again, what are you giving? Because if you want to give, go to the streets where the poor people are. Go to places where people that really need it, that don't have anything to give you back than prayer.
Not a giver, a user. I love
Yes, so we are just using the gift, the gift of man make way, easy to, mark your register so that next year they will remember. That's why many people, when the president is in office or a governor, they'll be doing greetings. When they go, they don't greet them because they never love them. They were using those as strategies for moving forward in the marketplace.
Okay, so please let me I need it. So let me ask. I always believe charity begins at home, and I always like people who would consider. So we always have family members who are not probably doing so well, and this is the time that you now say, okay, let me attend to you people. You may have so and so needs. Let me give what I can give. You have workers who are earning just above minimum wage, and you want to support them. If I finish giving those people and I don't have enough to go to the streets, are you calling me a user?
No, you are not. You have done what you can do. Just do what you know you can do to thine own self be true. You are not looking for somebody else to come and give you accolade. Just be sure you are doing the right thing. And there's nothing wrong in using gifts to maintain a relationship.
Okay.
But
plan for it. Know that what you are doing. I need to settle this relationship. I need to oil it. There's nothing wrong. Just know
call it what it is.
Call it what it is. That I'm oiling the relationship. Don't now say I'm an oiler. No. Call it what it is.
The year is wrapping up, and we're all planning for next year. I mean, everybody's saying, okay, let's consolidate on what we've had, and let's just start thinking ahead. As we're planning towards next year, what do you think we should start looking at? How do you think next year? Because in view of the economy, I mean, the government keeps making promises, things will get better, then go to refinery, will start working, something will happen, magic will happen, and we're just hoping that something will just change, What do you think? What are your own projections as we move into next year?
So, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I don't believe in government, unfortunately. I used to when I was younger, I've never believed in government. And if we look at since 1990 date, let anybody tell me that anything is getting better. It's only getting worse. So every time you it's called the danger of situational hope. Every time you situate your hope on a man, a government, or a move, you will end up having your hope dashed over and over again. That's why we don't have trust. So personally, I don't believe in any political party. I don't believe because they are all the same. And anything they are promising, they can make promises. They don't have what it takes to be able to fulfill the promises. They can only do what they can do because there are political factors that has to be oiled in order for them to stay in power. So stop looking to government. You are your own government. Look at your own life. Do what you can do within the confines of the environment you have found yourself. So moving into the new year, not to make anybody feel afraid, it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. But the worse is so that we can stabilize. Like I said, I think, I don't know when last I was here, but I think we discussed about the fact that these issues, that the steps they are taking, they are right, but it will take a while if the right things are done. Unfortunately, the right things are not being done on all fronts that will help us to see the kind of result that we want to see. In November now, they shared the highest money they've ever shared. The highest money that came in this November in like 20-something years of this government.
The highest money to who?
That's the fact, the money they shared among all the... So things are coming, things are changing. So in the new year, everybody should make sure that you have a plan and you look at must do, should do, can do, desire to do. And arrange your life in that four context. Must do. What are the things I must do that if I don't do it, my life is finished? Must do. So you list all those things. I must have a roof over my head. I must have this. So must. Then what are the things I should do? I should. You look at those lists, you put it there. What are the things I can do? Then, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do it. Then what are the things I desire
to do?
Then you put it there. So when you list it out, as you enter into the new year, your income will now help you to know where to stand. So, but must do is what everybody should be planning. Just do the must do. Every other one, it's a turbulent. Let's go through this turbulent together.
Let me take Yakub and I'll come back to ladies. Good morning, Yakub. Thanks for calling. Oh, we lost that call. I'm going to jump in. I thought we could see.
Yes. Okay, yeah. This planning thing, especially when it comes to budgeting, at some point it was really very scary when I started writing down everything I was spending, buying groceries, buying this, buying that. At the end of the month, I'm like, so this is how much people are eating in this house? What's going on? So there was a kind of rewiring that I did. Like, when it comes to subconscious reprogramming, I had to do it for myself because I didn't want the wahala of dying under the pressure of, so this is how much I am constantly spending. So I rewired my mind in such a way that I do not pay attention to my receipts anymore. I don't pay attention to what I buy in the grocery stores anymore. I just buy and go because I had told myself that I would work in such a way that I constantly make more, explore all my avenues, all those free jobs I'm doing, no more. Everything brings in money, but I will not pay attention to the day-to-day I'm spending so I don't run crazy. And I was able to achieve it. You know, I did not touch what I was not supposed to touch without proper planning and listing out the money. So for people who are looking, it's a question now, people who are looking to survive, they look at their bill and they look at how much they are meant to spend to probably just the basics, so nothing fantastical, just feed the children normal, so that at least they eat well, they're able to pay fees and all of that. How do you think, is my approach something they can also adopt or look into? I don't know.
Okay, so you use the word in your explanation, reprogramming. And that's the key. Everything we're talking about, people have been programmed to operate in a particular way. Okay. Question those programs, whether they are working, because there is a software that runs you. Now, what you have done is you have reprogrammed yourself to focus on increasing your expenditure. Do you know that all this we're talking about now? Many times when I teach people, increasing your income. You see, many times when I talk to people about, I say, look, there is no, two families are not the same. Because when you say, this one bring. If I'm a billionaire, I don't need whatever you are bringing. So when we are talking about mindset, you are saying, let me just focus on increasing my income. When I increase my income, my expenditure will always be taken care of. And there's nothing wrong in that. Not many people are doing that. They are focusing on, hey. And every time you focus on something, whatever you focus on is amplified. You notice that when you focus on making more money, the things you were doing free, your mind now told you no more free because you focus on it. So there's nothing wrong in what you have done. It's something that people should sit down to look into. One of the things that we have done as individuals is what I've said. I've looked at must do, should do, can do, and desire to do. And that's what I work my life with, because I have studied poverty. I have 2 PhD. Even my thesis in my second PhD is on poverty. Poverty. So I study poverty. You see, when you talk to helping people, one thing you need to understand is that poverty is a spirit, is a mindset, is an habit, is a lifestyle, is a state. Now, the problem, well, I'm a pastor, but I hate religion. I have a problem with religion. Religion is more dangerous than the devil. Christianity is not a religion, it's a relationship with your creator. When you practice Christianity as a religion, you become a victim of the religious or denominational interpretation of people to scripture that they don't understand. So when it comes to poverty, if you attack poverty from a religious point of view, you'll be dealing with spirits. Demons. And then you'll be praying. And listen, ignorance is not a demon, you can't cast it out.
Okay.
You cannot pray your way out of a problem you behaved your way into. That's why we have all the, have you noticed that prayerful people are the poorest people in church?
We know.
They just pray, they say, oh, God cannot do this. We pray all these things. Let's stop fooling ourselves. Many of the things we are talking about, the supernatural is a function of super plus natural. So the super will remain super without the natural. Natural will remain natural without the super. So you must do the two. You cannot say, oh God, come and feed me. God cannot feed you. He can provide the food. You must use the food, spoon and put it in your mouth and swallow it yourself. So when you deal with spirits, and you deal with that, you now confer on people, it is well. But it's not well, because the mindset of poverty cannot be dealt with prayer. It takes you to go through a process of reprogramming. So when you say end of the year, let us give to people. The people you are giving at the end of the year, you might be starting a cycle that might block in 2024. What you need to do is have a budget for welfare. If it's 5% of your income that you can use to help people, have that 5% and use it to help people that need help around you. Don't wait until December. Because the way the mind works, once the mind is locked up into something, it expects it to continue like that. By the time you will help somebody in December, because people always think that you give because you have so much. They don't know you are just a good person trying to live a good life. Then the next thing, every problem in their life, they are coming to you. Urgent 2K, urgent 5K. And sometimes the response, someone is asking for something, I will send you something. And then they are telling you, please make sure it's up to 100.
You have to wrap up with you. Very soon. But I can't let you go.
Don't give me anybody anything for Christmas. So.
I can't let you go without.
You can give advice. You can give counsel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't let you go without you touching on what you trended recently.
Okay. Well, let me just say this so that we can leave that by side now, please. Many of you that have been commenting on it, you know what you are saying, I see that it was one of my family members that called me. They are talking about it. I say, so announced, I say, when you said according to what we read, I say, is what they read. So let me say, this journey started about 2 years ago. You know, I'm a pastor. And as a pastor, let me just rush through it. As a pastor, one of our jobs is to help people to understand the different things. So about a little over 2 years ago, late 2021, we've had this issue of divorce, problem. Some people will get married within 3 months, they don't scatter. And you're like, what's up? Because when you are in a small church, it's a level. When you are like a mega church, and you're like, so sometimes you are in church, they will now tell you, that's the second wife, and they're all in the same church. And you as a pastor, you're like, wait till you're this one, and don't be waiting by we talk with this. So we had a discussion, look, let's begin to deal with this issue. So last year, I did a series for did a conference and dealt with marriage, divorce, and remarriage. And I shared extensively from scripture, because church is part of the problem. Because we live in a patriarchal society. Even the Bible itself was written in a patriarchal culture. Yeah. That's why Jesus didn't have a female disciple. And then we are now in a patriarchal, so we interpret the scripture because our culture ties with the Jewish culture. And then we have put a lot of cultural context into what is supposed to be revelation. So we dealt with that. When I dealt with that, one of my other pastor friend, Kingsley Okonkwo, like, man, this thing where you go touch, so there are issues everywhere, but nobody, now only if you talk this kind of thing, that we need to do something. So we've been on it for a while. Yeah. So we did an Insta Live on, is divorce a sin? That was the origin of this. Okay. So when we did that Insta Live, the result was back. He now said, sir, people are asking questions. Let's sit down and do a full teaching and help people answer this. I say, there's no way we'll do that without me having to bring my story home.
Personal experience.
Because, people, many of them were not even born 25, 27 years ago when I went through my own crisis. The Olumide man that you people know today is a result of the crisis he has gone through. The foolishness of my youth, the mistakes of my youth is what has made me wiser. That's why I can help people now.
Bring it back.
Anybody that wants to get that story, go to the YouTube and watch the real, not all this, this is clickbait. No, watch part one.
Why can't you come here and do it?
It's after you have gone to the YouTube.
We'll now come back.
Part 1, part 2, part 3. The issue is divorce is sin. In answering that, we now went on. So they now cut it into 3. Is divorce a sin? How my first marriage crashed, and now I came back from a failed marriage. So it now became part 1 to 3, and everybody's just carrying. So when you watch the 3 parts on Kingsley Okonkwo's YouTube, you now understand everything. You understand the context, you understand everything, because this is something that happened 20-something years ago, 18 years ago. So really, it's not. Yeah, so go there, so watch when you have watched it.
Yes, we'll now bring you back.
Any question you have, then we can deal with it.
Any programs this week, this December for us?
Well, we have a free program in January. So on the 3rd of January, it's absolutely free. Let's just help people. School of Money. So go to my YouTube channel.
January,
go to
paying.
Come again.
It's a free program in January. So before January, are we going to pay?
No, there's no free program now. But on my YouTube channel, there are so many videos, so many things. So if you go to my website, olumidemmanuel.org, you can always see all the things I'm doing. But 3rd of January, I'm starting the year with a free meeting. Everybody comes School of Money.
So that's what I was asking. So before January, we have to pay.
There is nothing before
January.
You
want to give him money.
After January, you will pay. After January, but in January 3rd, everybody come and let's help you.
You seem like you have a question.
3 sessions. You ask question, I'll help you to get all the information.
The question I have, he said he has given me assignment. I should go and watch first.
Yes, so
when he comes back, ask him the question.
Once you watch part 1, it's very educative. It's just, we're only trying to help people, but people are just so.
Okay, so we have a few more minutes. Any final words to Nigerians, especially?
Okay, so my final word would be for you to understand that 1,000 good intentions are not as powerful as one action. And no one will plan your life for you without your direct involvement. All this idea of wanting somebody else to be responsible for you is not going to work. You see, because a lot of people are looking for somebody to blame. And I've said it over and over again, excuses are the trademarks of failures. When people succeed, they take responsibility. When they fail, they look for somebody to blame. A student failed, say the lecturer failed me. No, they didn't fail you. Say like, so once you take responsibility for your life and you do what needs to be done, it's only a matter of time. All these things we are doing, grigaga, many of these things are not really as...
You have a teaching on religion. Go ahead.
To ask, at this stage, do you still make money mistakes?
Not as much as, I even wrote a whole book on that, 50 common money mistakes, not as much as I used to. If I make money mistake now, it will be because I allowed my emotion to overrule my sense of, because you are also human. When you cry, you try as much as possible, but I hardly do that anymore. So I used to make money mistakes, and I have a whole book on that.
This you're teaching on religion. Because the major part of one of the issues, Christianity different from religion, how we're able to behave our way out of poverty. I mean, I know you have lots of teachings, but do you have one specific in this area that we can?
Yeah, they're all on my YouTube channel. So they are on my Kingdom series. I have a series on the Kingdom, understanding the Kingdom, advancing the Kingdom, manifesting the Kingdom, the teachings on Kingdom, because the church is not the Kingdom of God. The church is part of the Kingdom of God. The Kingdom of God is beyond church. So the church is a place where you raise, empower, and then release people. So we are the light of the world, the salt of the earth, not the light of the church. So when you practice religion, you are good on Sunday, and you see that Christians are the most terrible.
Monday to Saturday.
They just Monday to because they just come to church, they lift up on holy hands. Then Monday to Friday, they do all kinds of things. But that's why we are not seeing national transformation. The church is the solution to the nation, but the church is also part of the problem. We are saying we have too many churches. We don't have too many churches. We have too many irrelevant churches. Because if the churches are doing their job, if you go and do your research, many of these people you are complaining about in politics, they are all in church on Sunday.
Yes, so
they are deacons, they are assistant pastors of churches. All these terrible people you have in politics, they are in church. So what are we talking about? Go to Lagos State, go to different states, all the civil servants, all the directors, many of them are pastors. But they are more terrible than other things. Try to do something, you see them, you are, a pastor say, no, leave that side, let's leave church aside. That means they are religious people. They are not kingdom people. When you understand kingdom, a lot of things will change.
So, a kingdom person.
So that's a different, we can sit down and talk that one, and then people can ask you, because really God will help us. Do you know that majority of people on the pulpit don't even know what they are doing? Wow. I can say now, Morayo, and you look at me. When I called you, you looked at me. But if I don't give you an assignment, you stay until I give you an assignment. That you are called does not mean you are sent.
Hey.
There's a difference.
We have to.
I thought only
a new kind of
What did they send you? What's your message?
Mariam, look at me. I'm just still looking at you. Not sent you.
No message.
No message until you give her the instruction that okay, go and do this and do this. Then it works.
Okay.
Why would you do the same Bible? Will come up with different interpretation.
That's
God confused. God is not confused. We are the one that is confused.
That is all we can take on today's show. So you said January 3rd?
January 3rd. School of Money with Olumide Mane, absolutely free. Go to my website, get all the details. Follow me on all my social media platforms.
We are here.
Yes, so
2024 is our year.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you.